This outcome is all about staying safe when you use technology, and safety here has two sides: protecting your personal data from prying eyes and protecting your own body from the aches and strains of screen work. Both matter, and in the UK, both are backed by law. Let's frame what's ahead. Using IT safely means guarding two things at once: your private information and your physical health. On the data side, we'll look at why personal information must be kept confidential and how criminals get hold of it. On the health side, we'll cover the aches and strains of long screen use and how to avoid them. Behind it all sits UK law, the Data Protection Act 2018, and health and safety regulations. Let's define a few terms first. Personal data is any information that identifies a living person. So that's your name, address, date of birth, photos, and bank details. Confidentiality means keeping that data private, so only people who are meant to see it can. And UK GDPR, together with the Data Protection Act 2018, is the law that requires organizations to keep your data secure, accurate, and used only for proper, lawful reasons. So why does confidentiality matter so much? First and foremost, it protects people from real harm, like fraud, identity theft, even stalking. It keeps trust alive between you and the organizations holding your details. And it's a legal duty, enforced by the Information Commissioner's Office. Picture leaked medical or financial records. In the wrong hands, they can be used for blackmail or fraud, which is exactly why the law takes breaches so seriously. Let's trace the journey your data can take. It's gathered from online forms, social media, cookies, and data breaches. Unauthorized people then get at it through hacking, phishing, or simply intercepting it. And once they have it, they misuse it for identity theft, fraud, blackmail, and spam. The more we share, the bigger our so-called digital footprint, and the bigger the risk that some of it ends up somewhere it shouldn't. Let's look at the main tricks in more detail. Phishing uses fake emails or texts to fool you into handing over passwords or bank details. Hacking and malware mean breaking into systems or slipping in a virus or spyware to steal what's stored. And interception is quieter still, capturing data on an unsecured public Wi-Fi network, or simply shoulder surfing, watching over your shoulder as you type your PIN. It's worth being clear about how misuse actually hurts people. With identity theft, a criminal uses your stolen details to impersonate you, and suddenly there are loans and accounts opened in your name. Financial fraud uses your card or bank data to take money directly. Phishing scams trick you into handing over credentials that open the door to further attacks. And data harvesting quietly builds a profile of you from many sources, chipping away at your privacy. Let's walk through a phishing attack step by step. An employee gets an email that looks like it's from the IT department, politely asking them to confirm their password. The link leads to a fake login page, a near-perfect copy of the company's real one. They type in their username and password, and both go straight to the attacker, who now has legitimate-looking access and starts downloading customer records. Staff training, a quick check of the sender's address, and multi-factor authentication would each have stopped it. So how do we defend ourselves? Use strong, unique passwords and turn on multi-factor authentication. As the National Cybersecurity Center advises, keep your software updated and run antivirus and a firewall. Be wary of unexpected links, attachments, and public Wi-Fi, and check your privacy settings on social media. Organizations, for their part, must encrypt data, limit who can see it, and follow UK GDPR. The honest truth is that no single measure is enough, and it's the layers together that keep you safe. It helps to split protection into two families. On the technical side, there are strong passwords and multi-factor logins, encryption of data, both stored and sent, firewalls and antivirus, and access controls so staff only see what they genuinely need. On the human and organizational side, there's training people to spot phishing, clear data protection policies, locking your screen when you step away, disposing of old devices securely, and reporting incidents to the ICO when the law requires it. You really need both. When a breach does happen, the fallout lands on everyone. For individuals, it can mean fraud, identity theft, distress, and a lasting loss of privacy. For organizations, it means fines from the ICO, legal action, and customers who no longer trust them. Under UK GDPR, the most serious breaches can bring very large financial penalties indeed, and firms have been fined heavily after failing to protect millions of records. That's why confidentiality is both an ethical duty and a legal one. Now to the second kind of safety, looking after your own body. Long hours at a screen and keyboard can take a real toll. There's repetitive strain injury in the wrists and hands from endless typing and clicking. There's back, neck, and shoulder pain from poor posture and a badly set-up desk. There's eye strain and headaches from glare and long focus, sometimes called computer vision syndrome. And there's the stress, poor sleep, and inactivity that come with too much screen time. Let's name the most common problems clearly. RSI, or repetitive strain injury, is the pain and stiffness that builds up in your wrists, hands, and arms from the same movements over and over. Musculoskeletal problems affect the back, neck, and shoulders, caused by slouching and sitting still for hours. And eye strain leaves your eyes tired, dry, or sore, with headaches to match after staring at a glary screen in poor light. The good news is that a well-set-up workstation prevents most of this. Aim to have the top of your screen at roughly eye level and about an arm's length away. Use an adjustable chair that supports your lower back with your feet flat on the floor or on a footrest. Keep your elbows at around 90 degrees and your wrists straight as you type. Add good lighting to cut glare and take regular breaks away from the screen, which is much what the Health and Safety Executive's guidance recommends. Let's pair each problem with its fix. For RSI, caused by repeated typing and mouse work, try wrist rests, an ergonomic keyboard, regular breaks, and good posture. For back and neck pain from slouching and long sitting, use an adjustable chair. Get the screen height right and stand up and move now and then. For eye strain from glare and long focus, there's the 20-20-20 rule, an anti-glare screen and better lighting. And for stress and fatigue, the answer is breaks, a manageable workload, and easing off the late-night scrolling. Here's how that looks in a real office. Following the display screen equipment regulations, an employer assesses a new starter's desk. The problem they find is a monitor set too low, so the worker leans forward and their neck aches. The fix is simple. Raise the monitor onto a stand at eye level and provide an adjustable chair. They also schedule short breaks and add a footrest and document holder. Small, cheap changes remove the risk entirely. Proof that prevention beats treatment. It's worth weighing these measures up honestly. On the plus side, they're cheap and easy to put in place. They prevent injury rather than treating it after the fact. They're required by law, so employers must act, and they improve comfort and focus into the bargain. But there are limits too, since they only work if people actually use them. The equipment and training cost something. Habits are hard to change, so breaks get skipped. And home and mobile working is much harder to keep an eye on. Safe IT use is really a shared responsibility. Employers must carry out those display screen equipment assessments, provide suitable equipment, and allow breaks as the regulations require. Individuals need to set their own workspace up properly, take those breaks, and speak up early if something starts to hurt. A handy habit is the 20-20-20 rule. Every 20 minutes, look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. The best results come when employer and worker both play their part. Let's bring this outcome together. Personal data must be kept confidential to prevent fraud, identity theft, and lost trust, and because UK law demands it. Criminals gather it through phishing, hacking, malware, and interception, then misuse it. So protection has to be layered. Strong passwords, updates, caution online, encryption, and GDPR compliance. On the health side, IT use can cause RSI, back and neck pain, eye strain and stress, all of which you head off with a good workstation setup, regular breaks, and employer and worker sharing the load. That's the end of our look at safety, covering both your data and your health. We've seen why confidentiality matters, how attackers get in, and how to keep them out, and how a sensible desk setup spares you a world of aches. To take it further, the reading points you to the ICO and the National Cybersecurity Center for practical data advice, and the Health and Safety Executive's display screen equipment pages for workstation guidance. Anderson's Security Engineering is there if you want real depth, and the ICO's own enforcement cases show what happens when organizations get it wrong. Do have a look before moving on.